My name is Pat Hamilton, and this is Hamilton Handmade. So my wife and I have been having a few issues with the faucet in our kitchen. The chrome finish is peeling just a little bit, and there is a leak within the handle. So we're starting to get some mildew around. We clean it just about every day, but still it comes back, and it's just pretty frustrating. It's pretty easy to fix that leak. However, about a week or so ago, Home Depot came out with a one-day sale of a particular faucet that we really liked. It was about time for an upgrade in our kitchen, and we thought this would be the perfect opportunity to jump on that sale. Now, I wasn't too familiar with Flow before the sale came out, but it had some great reviews. It looked like other people had purchased it on about the same type of sale that Home Depot had. This is normally around $300 or so. We were able to score it for $100, so it was an opportunity that we could not pass up. One feature that I am very excited about is that it's actually touchless. So it has a motion sensor on the front of it. Another big plus to this is that the mechanism for that feature is all battery powered. So I don't have to do any wiring. I just include it in, add in the batteries, and it's good to go. So today, I'm gonna show you how to take out a previous faucet and add in a brand new faucet. Now, if you're not interested in taking out the faucet, if you just wanna see how to install one of these Flow faucets, then I'm gonna include a timestamp right about here where you can see where to go to skip the process of me taking out my previous faucet. Here is my current faucet. Not exactly terrible, but we are getting some mildew right around here from a leak that is just kind of a pain and a thorn in my side. So we're gonna go ahead and take this faucet out. I'll show you how to do that up under, and then we will begin installing the new one. The absolute very first thing that you want to do is to cut off the water leading to the faucet itself. I would recommend putting a bucket up under that faucet. When we take that valve off, we know that there's going to be some water left in that line. Now after this, we're going to want to go ahead and remove the water lines from these valves itself. I'm going to remove this using a 5/8 wrench. You're more than welcome to use a crescent wrench or an adjustable wrench. Now that we have the water lines turned off and disconnected from the current faucet, the fun is about to begin. Now, one of the most annoying parts of working under a sink is not only are you working within a confined space, but you are also working at a different height. So it's kind of awkward how you have to lay to get up under there. I would recommend throwing down a pillow to try to bridge that gap. That'll save your back just a bit. Once you get up under the sink, you'll have to assess what your faucet looks like. Just about every one of these is a tad bit different. It looks like I'm gonna get pretty lucky, and it looks like mine is just hand tightened with a collar right around this sleeve right here. Looks like I could just loosen that up. Yes. This should be free at the top. We'll see what that looks like now. Yes. I believe we could pull that up. There we go. I'd call that a success. Now that you have the faucet removed, remember to go ahead and clean out that hole where the faucet was before. We ain't nasty people, but it's been a few years since that's seen the light of day. These are the pieces that came inside of the box. We're gonna ditch this piece right here. This is for a 3-hole sink, and we just have a single-hole sink, so that will not be used. I'm also gonna leave off the head until we get everything else hooked up. So before we take this over to the sink, I'm gonna go ahead and add on this O-ring. This is gonna go around all of this and seat right within here. This will help so water does not leak up under the sink if any splashes on top. There's a groove right on the inside, and it should sit just about perfect within that. We have this knocked out, so let's go ahead and take it over to the sink and we'll begin installing it in. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop this bad boy in. Feed through all of your cabling. Hit the long one first, and you might have to take them one at a time. It's a lot of cables to go through. One thing to note on this particular sink is where the sensor is. Make sure that that sensor is pointing out. There's a sticker over it right now. Make sure it's pointing out towards the sink. It wouldn't do you too much good if it was on the back side over here. Now, before I hop back under the sink, I do want to show you this real quick. Show you what I'm about to add on to the bottom. Right here we have a rubber gasket. That is like a rubber washer. Right here we have an aluminum washer, and then we have this collar right here. So this aluminum washer is going to go right in between the bottom of the sink and between this aluminum washer here. This piece will screw into our collar that has threads on the inside of here. And once that is screwed in, we'll just hand tighten that. We will then tighten these Phillips head screws, which will press this aluminum washer into this rubber washer and give a tight seal on the top of that cabinet. Okay, so now I'm feeding up the rubber washer and aluminum washer, and this will follow behind the piece with the threads on it. So I think I'm gonna have to stop right there and then tighten the rest using the Phillips head. Now you do want to alternate, go one and then the other to tighten it up. That way you stay as even as possible and keep that pressure even.
Be careful not to drop tools on your face.
Let's come up here and check and see how it feels here. Oh yeah, not bad at all. We can make a minor adjustment to slide it right. But I think that fits in pretty well. The next step is to install this mechanism for the sensor itself. Now this didn't come with any batteries, so you do want to go ahead and install in some AA batteries. You're supposed to mount this to the back of the wall under the sink, but my garbage disposal made this near impossible to work at the angle needed. To get around this, I found a scrap piece of lumber, mounted the unit to the lumber, and then mounted that lumber to the wall. This way I could work at an easier angle. Flow makes this next part pretty easy. Simply connect the two connectors provided from the faucet. There is a female and male connector, so it's pretty clear which connector goes where. There is a power line that runs from this pack to your faucet. You want to wait to connect this part. The next step is to connect the water lines, but first, be sure to add some thread tape to create a proper seal. Connect your hot and cold water lines. It is standard for your hot water to be on the left-hand side and the cold water to be on your right. Go ahead and tighten those fools up. Turn on the water and check for any leaks. Now connect the power line running from the sensor pack to your faucet. Now we can add the faucet head. Don't forget the thread tape for this as well. Flow provides a counterweight for the extendable faucet sprayer. There's a sticker on the faucet line that shows you exactly where to place this weight. Simply click it in place. The final step is to remove the sticker blocking the sensor. Pretty excited about the way that this turned out. I think that it's a great sleek design, it looks beautiful, and the functionality is perfect. I love the way that I could slide a pot right up under it, the faucet turns on, and I don't have to touch the sink whatsoever. Overall, this was a pretty simple weekend project. It was a little frustrating at times, mostly just because you're up under a sink working in a cramped area, but that's just kind of the nature of the job. I'd love to hear what you thought about this project. Be sure to comment down below, like this video, share this video, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss another Hamilton Handmade project. My name is Pat Hamilton, and this was Hamilton Handmade.